What is up, beautiful people? It's Wolf Brother Mythos Kush Renata from the channel Frost and Fists, and welcome to this video. This video is a showcase for my very first squad of Ultramarines, my Primaris Intercessors. Now, I'm really excited. I've been waiting to work on Ultramarines for a while. They've been a project in the background for a little while, and it's partially because of my very first book series that I ever read for Warhammer was the Ultramarines Omnibus. Shout out to Roxas for letting me read his Omnibus. But also because I've fallen in love with several books since then, including my favorite Ultramarines book of all time is No Fear from the Horus Heresy. So really enthused to finally get around to this Ultramarines project. What has really finally made me put aside my Space Wolf stuff and my AdMech stuff for a little while to jump in on this project, though, is of course SpungeHammer. First of all, doing his Road to Guilliman, and his Road to Guilliman challenge he set for himself is pretty inspiring. He is just mowing through Ultramarine after Ultramarine unit. He's just really making some awesome headway in this army. I mean, completely just, it looks like it's nothing for him to paint up an army. So that's going pretty awesomely. And he's got a list of things he eventually wants to paint Guilliman, but he's got a list of things that he has to paint out of that list before he can get to Guilliman. So it's an awesome little challenge for himself. Similarly, I'm kind of doing a similar challenge for myself. I want to do it at least, I'm not saying I'm going to paint up an entire army before I get to this, but while I would like to eventually get to a Guilliman one day, around Christmas, or for my Christmas present, Freak bought me the amazing model. I just fell in love with the Marnius Calgar new model and his honor guard. And so I'm really excited to be able to paint those up. But I decided, you know, I can't just take a Chapter Master and make that the first thing I paint up in my Ultramarine scheme. I got to get it down. I need some repetition. I need to crank out some troop choices and, you know, put together an army that until I'm confident enough in my painting style to be able to crank out a great looking HQ like that. Also very similarly, an inspiration for me was Nick over at Old Average Brit Gaming with his Fresh Force Challenge. Now with his Fresh Force Challenge, he and his friends have gotten together and said we're going to paint up a battalion at minimum of our new Fresh Force. And so Nick has started his own custom chapter over on Old Average Brit Gaming. Go check that out. And with that Fresh Force Challenge, I mean, he's really, again, Nick especially, he's got really good airbrush work, and using his strong airbrush techniques amongst some other things, he is really blowing through that army. And I mean, it's just incredible how quickly that army is coming together. But that Fresh Force Challenge, he's doing mostly a Primaris force, which my Ultramarines will be mostly Primaris as well. So I saw that and I'm like, I got to get in on this Fresh Force Challenge and put my Ultramarines on the table. So I'm hoping to do that with this first squad of 5 here. I need to lead into probably, I'm going to try and break it up, because if I batch paint something too long, I get extremely bored. So I'll probably do one of my HQ choices for a battalion next, and then jump to the next squad of Intercessors, then another HQ, and then my Infiltrators, and then I'll have me a little battalion, and I can just add to it. So that's my goal, that's my plan. This is where I really decided to try and test my color scheme for Ultramarines, and I really should have taken pictures of all the Ultramarines that I dunked in the drink and started over again. But I did do 2 little tacticals before, and I'll probably throw in some pictures somewhere of kind of testing what I wanted. But what I really finally decided on in the end, after I'd say a good 5 or 6 test schemes, probably more, is Guilliman Blue Spray, layered with Caldor Sky to bring some brightness and pop, and then just a highlight color of Viking Blue from Army Painter. So with those 3 colors combined, I think I've really kind of settled on my color scheme. The red helmet, by the way, for my Sergeant is actually, I struggled to think what color red I wanted to use for the helmet, because I didn't want to go too bright and make it cartoony. I didn't want to go too dark with, say, a corn red, and I thought Mephiston would still be a little too bright. So I was struggling to figure out what exactly I wanted, and I decided to make this my opportunity to try a contrast paint, Blood Angels Red, and actually that fit perfectly. I love the way that the Sergeant's helmet looks with that contrast red. So, oh, one other thing I wanted to mention is the power sword. The power sword I decided to do in a teal color because my normal go-to for power weapon effects is a blue fade to white, but I didn't want to go blue fade to white because, you know, there's so much blue in the armor already. So I decided to go teal, something that's in the similar color scheme, but, you know, slightly different, you know, just a different shade. And I think the teal on the power sword looks pretty good. Let me know what you think of the power sword down below. Anyways, I'm really happy, really pleased with the way this first squad of Ultramarines came out, and this is only going to motivate me more to start on the next part of my army. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. And with no further delay, let's check out that showcase.